judges get in. The Senate stayed late until midnight advancing federal judges, and all 2 more were confirmed. 5 more teed up for final votes, but 4 of the 7 could have been blocked, at least temporarily, if some Republicans had been in attendance. They advanced 50 to 49. Hawaii is where Harris is right now on vacations, but you had outgoing Senator from Indiana, Mike Braun, missing a vote. And there are some who are criticizing people for not showing up and getting these votes, that it is part of the job there as they try to push through these judges. And these are judges that are in, for decades. What's your message to senators who may be missing votes?
Well, they've all been here. Now, Mike Braun flew in late last night. We were on the floor till almost 2 o'clock this morning. And there's really nothing we can do. You got to remember this. They have the numbers. And if they show up and vote, it's over. They have 51 votes. And that's what they did to us last night. We could not stop anything. And Mike Braun was there, J.D. Vance, Rubio, everybody was there that needed to be there. It's just when you don't have the numbers, it's not going to help. Now, we could have stopped an earlier vote a few days ago. But again, what happens is at the end of that vote, if Chuck Schumer doesn't have all his people there, he will just pull his vote out to where he says, listen, we're going to re-vote it in the next week or so again. So there's a lot of talk about this. And, Mike Braun's a new governor. He was going through some orientation, but he flew in late last night.
Well, thank you for clearing that up.
They're doing their job. Yeah, they're doing their job.
Thank you for clearing that up. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul was on Newsmax last night. He was asked about Trump's plan to use the military in these mass deportations. And this is what he told us, Senator.
While I'm all for remain in Mexico, I will not support an emergency to put the Army into our cities. I think that's a huge mistake.
Your reaction?
I think that to some point, Rand is right. I think we need to do it, with law enforcement, with state officials, county officials, with the ICE, with the Border Patrol. I think we can do a lot of it with that. And I can understand what Rand says. He doesn't want to create havoc in the streets. And, we got to first see how the Democrats are going to fight this. There are going to be more lawsuits. If you want to make a lot of money as a lawyer, you probably need to get into it in the next couple of years because these people are going home. President Trump, Tom Homan, they've got a plan. But again, I think they just thrown out there their emergency clause and putting the military just in case it just gets out of control. I think we can do it with everybody else. I can understand the situation here, what Rand's talking about. But again, we have to send these people home. We can't afford it. It is draining the American people's money every day.
And also, we saw the emotional verdict yesterday in Georgia for Laken Riley. Too many innocent bloodshed, blood on the hands of this outgoing administration. Senator, before we let you go, I'd like to ask you about Pete Hegseth as the pick for the Department of Defense. John Barrasso came out a short time ago saying that he is a strong nominee. Do you think he will be confirmed?
So I'm down the hall just a few minutes ago. He's here with J.D. Vance. He's going around the people to try to sell himself. He doesn't have to sell himself to me. 20-year veteran, very highly educated businessman. We need to straighten our military out. I'm on the Armed Services Committee. I have been so disappointed in this administration of the DEI, the CRT, the woke atmosphere, the identity politics that they've created in what should be the biggest lethal fighting machine in the world. I mean, we're running on one cylinder and leaking oil right now in the military. We have to take our military back over. Pete Hegseth is the guy to do it. He's going to have to put a lot of good people around him, and he's going to have to take that Pentagon over there and cut 2 sides off of it and make it a triangle. We have way too many upper brass and not enough war fighters that really know how to fight in this country.
A lot of the media coverage is going to have to be looked at very closely after what we just saw this election cycle and the Trump derangement syndrome that even Americans saw through is, the propaganda from big media. Morning Joe takes this meeting with Donald Trump, and then their audience, they revolt. They have even lower ratings because they just want to live in an echo chamber. Just for fun, we thought we'd pull Rosie O'Donnell because she is just incensed that anyone would go talk to Donald Trump and try to get some new reckoning, new sort of olive branch going. Let's play this.
So Mika and Joe went down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss the ring. It's the last time I ever watched Morning Joe. Period. End of statement. Unreal. Unreal. For months, you were telling us he's the worst thing that could happen to this country and democracy. And then you go kiss his ring? Despicable.
I don't know about the creepy music, but it's all just so fun to kind of watch them go crazy over this. Where Donald Trump, he's just moving on with life. He's ready to save America.
Well, you're exactly right. And Rosie O'Donnell, she, in a few years, will say, probably underneath her breath, hey, thank goodness he got elected, because even what she's doing, she's been able to run her mouth and talk about things because she has freedom of speech. Freedom of speech was going out the door with this group. And thank God we've got a guy like President Trump in there that is going to shake the media up, too. He will shake it up along with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. It's going to be a team concept, but I tell you, it's going to be hard. The Democrats are going to fight it. The Democrat, socialist, progressive. It is going to be a hard battle. But I would get in a foxhole with President Donald Trump any day because he's got the energy and he's got the fight and he loves this country.
Yeah, well, we know the media, they're spinning off MSNBC because their ratings are not doing as well. Real quickly, you just said you saw Hegseth walking around and he's up there. We had Kilmany Dukart, our correspondent, just run into him. Let's play a little bit of what he told her moments ago. Senator, let's play this.
Appreciate the opportunity to meet with senators, appreciate the vice president's time here, and obviously honored that the president-elect would nominate me and support me in the process.
He's out there. He's making the rounds. Final thoughts, Senator.
Well, that's exactly what he needs to do. You know, I love not just the people he's bringing in. I love the age group. I mean, mostly millennials, people that have a lot of energy that's going to have to keep up with President Trump. You know, but I'll tell you, I'm still nervous because I know how devious the Democrats are, and they'll do anything to upset the apple cart here. And we've got to get people in, and we've got to get them in early. We can't waste one day with President Trump, January the 20th. We got to hit the ground running because the game is on the line. We're in the fourth quarter. We're not starting a new game. We're in the fourth quarter for America here, and we've got to win this game. We have no choice.
Senator Tuberville, always a pleasure to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us right here today. I hope to see you back here soon.
Thank you.